Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Monday, the 16th of August, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get started right away. Let's open up the charts right here. You know what? The lockdown in England has created 1 million new alcoholics just in the past year or so. And I know exactly why, because, this is the thing. It's like George Gammon says on his channel, stiff drink time. This is what the world's been going through for the last year or two, is basically stiff drink time. Lockdown created 1 million new alcoholics in England. Official data shows that English lockdown caused an extra 1 million people to become addicted to alcohol since the start of the pandemic. Before the pandemic began, government polling indicated that there are around 1.5 million alcoholics in the country, meaning people who drank at least 50 units of alcohol each week. But this jumped to just shy of 2.5 million this summer, which experts have blamed on the endless cycle of virus-controlled restrictions. I'm going to tell you this phenomenon. Now, they're doing a study here in England, but this phenomenon of more alcoholics would be something that's not restricted to just England alone, I imagine here in Canada and in the United States, we've probably seen a vast increase in the amount of people that's having a drink or two every night trying to get through this whole thing, It just feels like the world's practically ending. I know the world's not ending, but I mean, it's just like we get one crisis after another ever since the year 2020 began. It's just like you get over one thing and something else is coming in the news, that you got to watch out for, and it's very, very turbulent times. It's hard to deal with. And so, yeah, I can really understand how people are going out there and grabbing something to calm them down and soothe them over a little bit. Anyway, let's get in there and take a look at these markets today. 23.79 we're looking at for the price of silver today. It's up 5 cents, which is not a lot, considering that silver and gold are the foundation of the whole world's financial system. And all of this other leverage, and the leverage is massive. It goes beyond reason, the amount of leverage, especially in places like the derivatives markets. It's all built on nothing, the rest. It's a house of cards, the rest. But gold and silver are not a house of cards. Gold and silver are rock solid. And when this thing turns downwards, there's going to be a mass panic to get out. It's going to be like the people trying to get out of Afghanistan right now, That's what the panic's going to be like, to get out of these non-tangible assets out there and all of the fugazi, all of the excess leverage that they've created. The panic's going to be unreal. The people actually trying to hang on to something safe, to hold on to their money. Speaking of which, the president over there, he tried to get out with his money. And I guess he was filling cars with the money, and he was trying to fill a helicopter with the money, and he had to leave, and he had to leave big piles of money on the airport, right on the landing strip or whatever, because the rich people are going to try to get out too. I'm not talking about Afghanistan anymore. I'm talking about the rich people are going to do the same thing as when he tried to leave, and he had to leave money on the tarmac and everything. They're going to do the same thing, but they're going to be trying to get into something safe when they see the dollar going down. They're going to be trying to cling to these assets that are out of the dollar. And I know these assets have taken a beating, and the direct reason is they're trying to hold the line. They're trying to keep the dam from breaking. That's why they're controlling the price of gold and silver right now. And what a buying opportunity they're making for you guys. Because when this whole thing goes down, I'm going to tell you what, that gold and silver could actually save your life. Real physical. There's been many a case through history where a person that's had a handful of gold and a guy that doesn't have any gold, the one guy, he's been able to get out and get to a safety, and the guy that doesn't have any gold's not able to. Gold can be a passport. And I'm telling you guys, you got to think about this very carefully. And there's a time coming in the not too distant future where you're not going to be able to get any gold and silver at any price. And these guys are going to get locked into the dollar and all these dollar denominated assets. And they're not going to be able to get out, guys. Not going to be able to get out. There's going to be no passage out. The door's going to close. It's going to slam shut. So, I mean, when I say get out, I'm not talking about get out of a country or anything. I'm talking about get out of a failing currency. This is not gonna, once this really gets going and we see the seeds of it, we see the beginnings of it, we see the dollar losing value now. These are signs. You shouldn't ignore these signs. What's coming is potentially devastating for your finances, and that means ultimately in the end, if you don't have anything any other way out, you're not going to be able to what do you buy food with? You buy food with money, you know? And what's real money is gold and silver, not these paper dollars. In the end, what can happen is this currency ceases to function. Okay, look at a measure of its function. Look at the power an American dollar had back around 1930 to purchase things, purchase anything you wanted. And look at the power American dollar has now to purchase things. And it's disintegrating fast. You know, it's losing its purchasing power, therefore it's losing its function. When the dollar gets down really low, people just don't want it, and it doesn't function anymore because you'll go up to buy something, and they'll just shake their hand. No, I don't want dollars. I don't want fiat. What else you got? Yeah, they'll barter with you if you got something good to barter with, or if you've got gold and silver or whatever. But they're not going to want the fiat anymore, and it's going to cease to function. Or they're going to want wheelbarrows full of it for whatever they got that's real. This has happened over and over again in human history. It's bound to happen again. Fiat, you just can't print something that just try to print your way to prosperity. It just can't be done. So anyway, what we're seeing today is the silver price extremely low at $23.80. Let's take a look at gold. Gold today's extremely low too. It's under $1,800, $1,785. And it's up $5.90 on the day so far. Let's take a look at cryptos. Cryptos is at 1,991 billions. So it's almost $2 trillion industry with a Bitcoin price of 46,298. And I'm going to tell you guys what. Bitcoin's hovering right around a $2 trillion industry for all the coins, right? Because the financial system, and I did a show on this yesterday, I talked about how the financial system is becoming is having to be run in a tighter and tighter band, or narrower and narrower range. This means anything smaller things can take it out. It can't withstand. It's kind of like a person when they're young and healthy. Say they're 20, a man's 20 years old or a woman's 20 years old. They can go out and drink all day, stay up all night, party, run a marathon, and I mean, a day later they're fine. Their body's very resilient. And that's the way with a financial system. When a financial system isn't healthy, it's very resilient. It can withstand a lot. Okay, so like back in 1970s, Paul Volcker was able to raise the interest rate up to 20%. The financial system withstood it. But now what about a 120 or 110-year-old man? He's in a nursing home and everything. He can't withstand hardly anything. If he tried to run a marathon, he would go into cardiac arrest. His body can't withstand anything because he's so old. He's so he's running in a much his body is running in a much more narrow margin than a person that's young and healthy. Like they can go and they can dehydrate all day long, the person that's young and healthy, 20 years old, and they can get away with stuff like that. But an old man that's 100 years old, he can't dehydrate all day long. He'll die. And that's the way with our financial system. It's got to the point now where I don't even think it could withstand a $2 trillion loss if they were to try to take out Bitcoin. It would turn the financial system over. It can't withstand anything. It can't withstand interest rates going above 2 or 3% on the long end of the yield curve. It can't withstand the stock market falling more than, say, 5 or 10%. It can't withstand anything. It's like a patient that's in such bad condition that he can't even get out of the bed. He has to be on life support. That's where our financial system is right now. And the more leverage they add, the worse shape the financial system is getting in. The financial system, what's wrong with it is it needs to be deleveraged. But we've passed the Rubicon. You can't deleverage this financial system without it completely crashing to the ground because it's so over-leveraged. So we're stuck. They're stuck running the financial system. The Fed and all their cronies are stuck running the financial system in a very, very, very narrow band or sweet spot that they can't move out of. But it's going to move out of that sweet spot. Eventually, we're going to have something that's going to take the market down, and then they're going to have to come in and rescue everything. And when that happens, it's going to be all over. We're going to see the currency fail. This is where we're at right now, guys. So anyway, let's move on. We've taken a look at cryptocurrency, and basically, I guess what I'm telling you is because it's $2 trillion and the financial system is so unstable right now that it's almost like cryptocurrencies are becoming a too big to fail asset class. And maybe that's why they're not touching it. You haven't heard the Fed saying boo about it anymore now. They're just kind of like letting it go. And it's going. And so the sky's the limit for cryptos. The sky's the limit for gold and silver. At this point, it's almost like we've got the green light on the tarmac, guys, for gold, silver, and cryptos. And it's only going to get worse over the next year or two. And I'm telling you, what's the downside risk for gold and silver? Well, it's the cost of production of mining and everything. What's the downside risk on crypto? Well, all or nothing. But what's the upside potential for both? Unlimited. Unlimited upside potential. These guys out there say, well, Bitcoin could go to 1 million. Bitcoin could go to 10 million, 100 million. Gold, silver, they say, oh, it could go to 100 or triple digits. Oh, it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Anyway, sky's the limit. Let's take a look at the Dow today. 35,432. Down 82 points. It's rising now because it was down more earlier. If we take a close look here at this is today right here. You can see all day it's been rising. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends on the plus side tonight. Let's take a look now at crude oil. 67.36. Down $1.08 on the day. Move index. We got a falling move index at 55.45. Now let's take a look at bonds and rates, and we got falling bond yields. We're looking at a 10-year at 1.24. A fairly significant fall in yields. U.S. 30 years at 1.91 with a fairly significant fall in the yield today. Now let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. 92.59. Probably around the end of this week, around 92.59 on the dollar index. Probably around the end of this week, I'm going to announce another pets thing, and you guys can send in the pet photos around the end of this week. And the thing is if you've already sent in your photos of your pets, You can send in more. I mean, uh, you don't have to just send in one. You can repeat this and send in more pictures of your pets. I know probably you got more than just one snap photo of your beloved pet. You can send in more if you want, or new people that haven't sent in pictures of the pets, they can send in pets too. Next week, and then what we'll do is we'll run it the same format, 3 per day, until we go through the whole list and everybody gets to see the pets. And I enjoyed the pets. I really enjoyed that segment of the show, and so we're going to do it again. Probably announce it on Friday, and then over the weekend I'll collect all the pet photos, and everything, and then start the next week showing them. It's going to be kind of fun. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and leave lots of comments. And we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye bye.